Nicole Wallace used to be a Republican. She was a rhino. She worked for John McCain in his presidential campaign. And when he picked Sarah Palin, she, along with another guy, Steve Schmidt, sabotaged her, did everything they could to ruin her, leaked against her, didn't properly prepare her. And so Nicole Wallace rode that to a gig on MSNBC. Now she's a Democrat. Now she trashes Republicans across the board in the most vile way possible, that they're all racists and so forth and so on. These people have lost any consciousness that they used to have. They have no principles whatsoever. And I blame these corporatist media platforms for giving somebody as stupid and as obviously transparent as Nicole Wallace a platform where she makes a fortune lying about tens of millions of other people, many of whom she used to work with. Go.
So, Donny, Carl knew me when I worked in the Republican Party.
Now, this guy that she's talking to is a multimillionaire. And he shows up on these MSNBC shows with these very expensive shoes and socks matching his pants, very expensive shirt, very expensive haircut and glasses. And he sits there and pretends that he's down for the revolution. This guy is a punk, Donny Douche here, an absolute punk. And watch what he says. Listen to what he says. As if they're down for the revolution, as if they live in communities that are needing help, as if they lift a finger to improve the debate in this country. Go.
Has really turned into something that acts on anti-democratic impulses, that bolsters the lies of a president who they knew lost the last election. But on this question of acknowledging violence, I think the Democrats have the Republicans dead to rights. You've got a witness in the 1-6 congressional investigation, Cassidy Hutchinson, who has testified to Mark Meadows' knowledge, warned that there could be violence around 1-6. And you've got Kevin McCarthy on tape in his own voice worrying about violence that could...
Do we have Nancy Pelosi on tape? We don't? Why? Do we have emails from Nancy Pelosi, what she was worrying about? No. Do we have text messages on Nancy Pelosi, what she was worrying about? Why not? She was in charge of protecting the Capitol, not Mark Meadows. And President Trump offered 10 to 20,000 National Guardsmen, also according to testimony that's been provided, which, of course, Nicole Wallace won't mention. So we need to know what Nancy Pelosi knew and when she knew it. And same with her inner circle. And quite frankly, same with Mitch McConnell. But she talks about violence? I mean, wouldn't you like to know what Nancy Pelosi communicated on the day before January 6th, and the day after January 6th? I sure as hell would like to know, but they don't care. So you're going to attack the entire Republican Party. And so they're trying to tie this to Buffalo. And then they're trying to tie Buffalo to January 6th. One had nothing to do with the other, period. And the mass murderer, the killer in Buffalo, specifically denounced conservatism and specifically denounced the Fox News channel. Now, he didn't specifically denounce MSNBC or Nicole Wallace or Donny Douche. He didn't do that. But he went after Fox and he went after conservatism. He called himself something of a national enviro socialist, if you will, a leftist. Go.
Created by the kinds of things his own members were saying. How do you not take Republicans worried about violence being created by their own and take that to the country and say, don't believe me?
Republicans worried about violence created by their own? So the killer in Buffalo is a Republican? No, he's not. Anybody who committed an act of violence on January 6th, that's the responsibility of the Republican Party? This from the party that encouraged and in fact celebrated the riots of the summer of 2020 and painted Black Lives Matter on their streets, a corrupt organization intellectually, politically, and financially? They take no responsibility for this? Go ahead.
First, let me answer. You started off this premise with how does Tucker Carlson get 3 million viewers every night? A recent Morning Consult poll said that 23% of Republican males are okay with white nationalist, white supremacist views. That's 1 in 4 Republican males and 9% of all Americans. So there's an audience out there.
You know, this is so pathetic. So pathetic. I don't know how many white nationalists support X, Y, Z. It really doesn't matter. I don't know how many black nationalists support the Democrat Party and Joy Reid show. It really doesn't matter. That's not the point. The fact is, that means 3/4 of the people who watch Tucker Carlson don't believe in this stuff. So to put out a line like that and to condemn somebody for that is really outrageous. As I said before, this guy hated Fox. Why doesn't he say that? You know, he doesn't say it at all. Go ahead.
Fringe is still a minority, but it's a fringe. What the Democrats need to do, and it's so obvious at this point, is brand them with it, is basically take this replacement theory and now make it the Republican racist replacement theory.
Now, there you go. Got to make it racist. Here, 2 lily-white multimillionaires talking about what Democrats need to do by calling other white people racist who don't agree with them. If this killer in Buffalo thought that Fox was spreading evil, why did he embrace Fox? If he thought conservatives are white racists, why didn't he embrace conservatism? He embraces socialism. What he was saying is he's a nationalist socialist. Does anybody know who else was a nationalist socialist? Adolf Hitler was a nationalist socialist. He hated capitalism. He hated representative government. Now, I'm just explaining the terms here. Now, this replacement theory, I have to confess my ignorance. Up to a few days ago, I didn't know what replacement theory was. The Great Replacement Theory, they call it. And Media Matters said that I support it. Very strange. I speak 3 hours a day on the radio, 5 days a week. I speak here at the Levin TV. I speak on Fox. I support replacement theory. What I said is the Democrats have been promoting replacement ideology for years. And the great question is this: why is the border open? Why is the border open? Does anybody know why the border is wide open to people who want to come in? Anybody, including now felons? Why is the border open? So drug dealers can come in? We have a massive problem now with sex slavery and trafficking. We have 140,000 minors in cages, which apparently cages don't matter anymore to the media and the Democrats. Why is the border open? Because the Democrats want it open. Why do they want it open? Barack Obama and Joe Biden have told us in the past. Because they believe in replacement ideology. And this is where Media Matters says he believes in replacement theory. I believe what I hear and what I see. A replacement theory. I see what the Democrat Party is doing. And Media Matters, they can't answer the question either because it's a Democrat front group that has as its purpose the destruction of free speech, the Republican Party, and conservatism. A bunch of poisonous smear merchants funded by Soros and other dark money behind the scenes, which they will not reveal. And so I just tell you this: why don't the reporters ever ask the question to the Democrats, why do you support open borders? There's only one reason. Because they want all these people to come into the country. If you don't want all these people to come into the country, you secure the border. We have legal ways to come into the country. We always have. They're called immigration laws. Why are they being violated serially by the Democrat Party and the president? Why do they oppose a wall? They are defunding the Border Patrol and ICE through the back door by forcing them to do things that prevent them from securing the border. The vast majority of the American people oppose this. A significant majority of minorities oppose this, including Hispanic Americans who live there. Who's the white racist? These people on MSNBC? Who are the racists? The people on MSNBC? The people who put Al Sharpton on and Joy Reid on? The people who put this fool on and Nicole Wallace on? Yeah, I think the shoe is on the wrong foot here.
For more, sign up for Levin TV.